Chapter 391 I'm going to die anyway, why should I get stabbed so many times for nothing? System, spend some points to open the immortal scroll jar for me, and open the 10th grade, 9 level stealing immortal scroll. You son of a bitch, since you want to play, I'll let you play to your heart's content. Looking at Zhou Qingxiu, who looked very happy, Yi Feng also revealed a playful smile. My lord. That leader is too mean, why don't we kill him first? At this time, Yi, who had been paying attention to the changes in Yi Feng's expression, also put forward his own ideas. Don't rush to kill him. After we blow them back to the ghost spirit gate, we will deal with them together. But this guy is really too mean, I have already thought of a way to deal with him. As he said that, Yi Feng directly handed over the 110th grade, 9th level stealing immortal scrolls to Yi. Huh? Fuck. You are not right. At this time, when Yi Feng noticed that many golden armored guards behind him were looking at the stealing immortal scrolls in Yi's hand with green eyes, he was also shocked, and then said in shock, did I lead them astray? Is it comfortable? Is it fun? Just when Zhou Qingxiu was flying backwards with his legs crossed and a face full of comfort, a playful voice suddenly sounded from his ear. Stare. When Zhou Qingxiu turned his head and saw Yi, who appeared on his right side at some point, he was also frightened and trembled all over, and then hurriedly said, Sir, I don't have it. No? Everyone else is flying backwards with a look of fear on their faces. But you are sitting with your legs crossed and looking very comfortable. How can you be so awesome? Because you alone have directly affected the happiness of my lord, so I tell you, you have been targeted by me. After I blow you back to the ghost spirit gate, I will personally send you off. However, others are killed with one blow, but you, I will chop you 3,381 times. Looking at Zhou Qingxiu, who was instantly panicking, Yi also informed him in advance of the ending after returning to the ghost spirit gate. Bombing back to the ghost spirit gate means chopping us to death? Others are killed with one blow, but I will chop you 3,381 times? Wait. At this moment, Zhou Qingxiu suddenly reacted, then looked at Yi and said hurriedly, Sir, 3 threes is 6 knives, not 81 knives. Funny. Really funny. Anyway, it's all death, why do you still care about 1 or 2 knives? After saying that, Yi took out a bunch of stealing immortal scrolls and began to steal crazily from Zhou Qingxiu. Too terrible. It's really terrible to be uneducated. What the hell are 6 knives and 81 knives? Did your maths teacher teach you? Yi Feng, who was not far away, was already stunned after hearing the conversation between the two. However, although he had some opinions on the arithmetic of the two, he agreed with what Yi said very much. For a dying person, why bother about 1 or 2 knives? It's meaningless. Zhou Qingxiu, God, 1 or 2 knives are short, it's more than 70 knives short, a dying person has to struggle, anyway, he's going to die, why should he be stabbed so much for nothing? After a while. Is that white figure just now Elder Zhou? So young. No wonder Elder Zhou has never found a Taoist partner and said he would focus on cultivation. Although he cannot compare with Elder Zhou in talent and cultivation, he is the best among the best in this respect. When more than 100 strong men from the ghost spirit sect saw Zhou Qingxiu flying backwards, they could not help but talk to each other, and even forgot the fear and uneasiness they should have at this moment. Gone. My dignity in the ghost spirit sect is all gone. Hearing the discussion of the crowd, Zhou Qingxiu collapsed. He did not expect that he was about to die and be ridiculed by his fellow disciples. Ghost spirit sect, in the main hall of the sect. Master, something big has happened. Elder Zhou and many seniors in the sect are back again. At this time, a disciple from the sect came to the main hall of the sect and quickly reported this strange situation to Niu Yun. Back again? Didn't he just go out? Just when Niu Yun was about to ask something with a puzzled look on his face, the disciple said again, "Master, there is one more thing. We seem to be surrounded by golden legends." "What? Hasn't the golden legend always been in the Chaos Wasteland? Why did it surround our ghost spirit sect?" Hearing this, Niu Yun's eyes flashed with panic, and then he left the hall directly. He had to ask Zhou Qingshu what was going on. After all, the golden legend could run rampant in the Chaos Wasteland, and he didn't believe that his ghost spirit sect could stop this mysterious golden legend. A moment later, when Niu Yun saw the cool Zhou Qingshu squatting in a corner, his eyes also showed a touch of shock, and then he quickly took out a Taoist robe from the fairy ring and walked towards Zhou Qingshu. "Master, I can't wear it. If I wear it, when I die later, I won't be stabbed with 3,381 knives. Anyway, it's seen by others, it doesn't matter." Looking at Niu Yun, who was walking over with the fairy robe, Zhou Qingshu refused without waiting for the other party to speak. "Can't wear it? Die in a while? 3,381 knives?" Hearing Zhou Qingshu's words, Niu Yun was confused, and then hurriedly asked, "Elder Zhou, what's going on?" A few minutes later. "The golden legend is from the Star Soul Holy Land? Any one of the golden legends can sweep our ghost spirit sect? You just went out not far, and they blew you back with a sky bomb, and they are about to massacre our ghost spirit sect?" After hearing Zhou Qingshu's words, Niu Yun was completely dumbfounded. He was fine before, but now he is waiting to die? On the other side. Yi. Bring the Golden Armor Army to charge into the Ghost Spirit sect, and you can go back after you're done. After saying that, Yi Feng walked directly to the distance. He was not going to participate in the next thing, and since he had come out, he was not going to return to the Holy Land immediately, but was going to trigger more prodigal behaviors outside and recruit some suitable prodigal disciples by the way. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Reward 2 million prodigal points, reward Ascension Pill *2. When Yi Feng left for a while, the reward prompt sound of the system rang in his mind. 10 Ascension Pills, as long as you eat 9 of them, you can break through to the peak of the 9th level of the Heavenly Immortal Realm. However, there is no one here, and there are no witnesses, so it's not easy to break through. Looking at the empty surroundings, Yi Feng also gave up the idea of breaking through directly, and prepared to find a suitable witness before shooting. "Come on. You bunch of bastards, come and chop me." At this moment, as a twisted space vortex appeared, a young man covered in blood fell out of it, cursing. Chapter 392. He came up and recognized the big brother. He kneeled down quite skillfully. "Big brother." When the young man fell to the ground and noticed Yi Feng beside him, he knelt down to Yi Feng without any hesitation, and then shouted loudly. "Who the hell is your big brother? You kneel down quite skillfully." Hearing this sonorous big brother, and looking at the young man kneeling in front of him, Yi Feng was completely confused. He had a little brother without knowing why. Just out of the wolf pack, into the tiger's den, why is my life so miserable? I knelt down and called Big Brother, he shouldn't take advantage of me. I haven't had time to exchange the treasures I snatched in the Tiandao battlefield for fairy crystals to enjoy. At this time, Chen Fan, who was kneeling on the ground, was also looking at Yi Feng nervously, fearing that the other party would suddenly attack him. After all, although he had a powerful cultivation of the 5th level of the Immortal King realm, he was seriously injured at this time, and the other party could easily wipe him out. "Do we know each other?" Yi Feng, who had recovered from his shock, also asked Chen Fan with a puzzled look. "I didn't know him before, but now I know him. Big brother and I hit it off at first sight. If I can't be his little brother, it will definitely be a regret of my life." In order to survive, Chen Fan also put down his dignity as a strong man. He never thought that one day he would kneel down and beg a little cultivator at the peak of the 9th level of the Earth Immortal Realm to be his big brother. However, as long as he can ensure his own safety, he will definitely leave immediately after his injuries recover. Hey! I didn't expect you to find out my identity as a spendthrift. But what I want to say is that you want to be my little brother, but you are not worthy. After saying that, Yifeng ignored Chen Fan, who was stunned for a moment, and walked away directly. He didn't want to have too much entanglement with this psychopath who recognized everyone he saw as his big brother. After all, none of the people he brought back to the Holy Land recently were normal, and he didn't want to bring back another abnormal person. Who the hell found out your identity as a spendthrift? I am a powerful immortal king and I am your little brother, you say I am not worthy? At this time, looking at Yifeng, who was walking away, Chen Fan was going crazy. He didn't expect that he was actually disliked. After a moment. Fuck. Is this guy sick? Why is he always following me? He's addicted to being a big brother. When Yifeng found out that Chen Fan had been following him, he was really going crazy. Brother. What on earth do you want to do by following me? Don't even think you want me to be your big brother. There's no such thing as a first-time acquaintance. Don't treat me like a fool. Finally, Yifeng stopped and turned around to ask Chen Fan. Bang! Hearing Yifeng's question, Chen Fan knelt down to him again very skillfully, and then explained directly, Brother, I am seriously injured now, and any small cultivator I meet can kill me, so can you protect me for a while, 2 days, at most 2 days, as long as I recover a little, I will leave immediately, and I will never bother you again. If you need help in the future, I will definitely help you. So that's it. This guy is quite honest. Thinking of this, Yifeng directly said to the system, use the opportunity of peeping into the secrets of heaven once, and check whether the other party's last words are true or false. Ding. Consume the opportunity of peeping into the secrets of heaven once, and the other party's promise is true. If the host saves the other party will repay this favor in the future. Soon, the voice of the system rang in Yifeng's mind. Not bad. Then protect him for a while. Knowing that the other party's promise was true, Yifeng also decided to help the other party. After a while. Brother Chen Fan. You are lucky this time. You actually encountered a secret realm in the Tiandao battlefield, and you also snatched a lot of natural treasures in it. After listening to what Chen Fan said, Yifeng finally understood how the other party got all these injuries. Brother. I have said everything I should say. If you want those natural treasures, I will give them to you, but can you put away the sword on my neck first? At this time, Chen Fan, who was kneeling on the ground, was really going crazy. He didn't expect that the other party would suddenly put the sword on his neck and force him to ask how he got all these injuries. Although he regretted following Yifeng, he now only hoped to save his life after handing over everything. Brother Chen Fan, I was forced to do this. Who told me to ask you in the first place, but you didn't tell me? But I don't like your stuff, so you can keep it for yourself. After putting away the long sword, Yifeng smiled and helped Chen Fan, whose legs were shaking. Brother, you really don't want it? Then why did you force me to tell you about my injuries? Hearing Yifeng's words, Chen Fan asked without daring to believe it, and even showed a trace of vigilance, fearing that the other party would suddenly give him a sword. After all, he had seen many such old six in the Tiandao battlefield. Curious. Don't worry, I'm not interested in your things. I'm just curious about how you got all these injuries. After saying that, Yifeng smiled and continued to walk forward. When Chen Fan saw Yifeng leave directly, he gritted his teeth and followed him. After all, he had said everything he should say. If the other party really wanted to kill him, he would have done it long ago. Night fell. After walking for most of the day without seeing the town, Yifeng also took out the top-grade fairy crystal and prepared to build a fairy crystal bed in this wilderness. Fuck. Top-grade fairy crystal. When Chen Fan saw the top-grade fairy crystals that Yifeng took out, he exclaimed with green eyes, and then he rushed over excitedly. What's going on? What is this idiot doing? It's just some top-grade fairy crystals. What do you mean by hugging and kissing them? Seeing Chen Fan, who was lying on the pile of top-grade fairy crystals, taking one piece after another and hugging and kissing it, Yifeng's face also showed a touch of disgust. He felt that he had to change a batch of top-grade fairy crystals. After all, he didn't want to lie on the top-grade fairy crystals, covered with the other party's saliva. System, use the last opportunity of today's peak function to check what's going on with Chen Fan. In order to avoid his next batch of top-grade fairy crystals being ruined by the other party, Yifeng also directly gave the system an order. Ding. Consume a peak function opportunity. Chen Fan is a top-grade fairy crystal control. He has a morbid obsession with top-grade fairy crystals. In his heart, no matter what precious and rare treasures are, they are not as good as top-grade fairy crystals. Well. After hearing the system's words, Yifeng also showed a touch of surprise. He didn't expect that the other party would have such a special hobby. I have no relationship with him, I definitely can't give it to him for free. But these top-grade fairy crystals have been stained with his saliva, I must throw them away, I don't know if he can bear it. At this time, looking at Chen Fan lying in the pile of top-grade fairy crystals with his eyes closed and enjoying it, Yifeng's face also revealed a worried look. Chapter 393 I go out to spend money every day, but he doesn't do anything to me. Huh? Just when Yifeng was about to find a place to bury these top-grade fairy crystals, Chen Fan suddenly stuffed a fairy ring into his hand. Looking at the fairy ring in his hand, Yifeng also revealed a confused look. Brother! All my belongings are in this fairy ring. Don't worry, the value of the various natural treasures inside is definitely worth these top-grade fairy crystals, so can you sell these top-grade fairy crystals to me? Seeing Yifeng's confused look, Chen Fan also hurriedly explained. Use natural treasures to buy my top-grade fairy crystals? And this kind of reverse operation? When Yifeng heard Chen Fan's words, he was really shocked. He had only heard of using fairy stones or fairy crystals to buy various natural treasures, but he had never heard of using natural treasures to buy fairy crystals. Boom! At this moment, with a terrifying breath of pressure, Yi Xiaotang, who was eating a lollipop, also walked out of a space crack. Fuck! A peak powerhouse in the 9th level of the fairy realm. When Chen Fan saw Yi Xiaotang walking out of the torn space, he also trembled with fear. Xiaotang, why are you here? Seeing Yi Xiaotang appearing here, Yifeng also asked with a puzzled look on his face. My lord. My elder sister asked me to come to you. She said she wanted you to accompany her to the Tiandao battlefield. Hearing Yifeng's question, Yi Xiaotang also hurriedly explained. Master asked Xiaotang to come to me? And wanted me to accompany her to the Tiandao battlefield? Didn't she give up? Hearing Yi Xiaotang's words, Yifeng also said to himself with a puzzled look on his face, what is the master doing? Shouldn't she be taking revenge now? Why does she suddenly want to go to the Tiandao battlefield? My lord. My elder sister is waiting for you in Mingchuan City, Dongzhou. Do you want me to take you there now? Seeing Yifeng, who was thinking with his head down, Yi Xiaotang spoke again. Hearing what Yi Xiaotang said, Yifeng looked at Chen Fan and said, Brother Chen Fan, it seems that I can't protect you for 2 days. These top-grade fairy crystals are for you. After that, Yifeng threw the fairy ring in his hand to Chen Fan, and then said to Yi Xiaotang, help him recover from his injuries, and then we will go directly to Mingchuan City. Mingchuan City. In a guest room of a restaurant. Qianxue. Are you a tiger? It's your blessing that Yi Feng likes you. Why don't you accept it? After learning about the situation of Yi Feng and Luo Qianxue in the lower world, Hu Li also taught Luo Qianxue with a dark face. Master. Actually, I have some feelings for Yi Feng, but apart from giving me a set of clothes made of purple dark crystal and calling me his wife, he didn't do anything to me. He just went out to spend money every day. Later, he didn't even go back to the sect to sleep. I can't even see his shadow every day, how can I create opportunities for him? Besides, when I was in the lower realm, I was jealous of a dog every day. He cared more about the dog than me. Later, I felt that he might just be in a momentary mood for me, so I simply stopped thinking about it and devoted myself to cultivation. Hearing Hu Li's scolding, Luo Qianxue also explained with a bitter smile. So that's it. Then you have to seize the opportunity this time. No matter whether he is in a momentary mood or not, you just need to take the initiative. He likes to spend money, so this time when you go to the Tiandao battlefield, you should help him spend money. After learning about these situations, Hu Li pondered for a moment and directly helped Luo Qianxue plan a preliminary plan to take down Yi Feng. In the blacksmith shop of Mr. Chu in the lower world, you mistakenly thought that I was in danger and stepped forward. In the lower world, you worked hard to help me expand the sect. In the lower world, you gave me precious marrow cleansing pills and super spiritual pills that quickly improve my cultivation, so that I could quickly ascend to the upper world to take revenge. In order to let me take revenge smoothly, you came to the upper world in advance to buy the Qingxian demon dragon and shadow earth dragon needed for revenge for me. After listening to Hu Li's advice, Luo Qianxue couldn't help but think of everything Yi Feng had done for her, which made her smile with a wicked smile and muttered to herself, since you don't care about me after you flirt with me, let me flirt with you, I will be responsible to the end. Chu. Who misses me? Damn it, it's just getting dark, and the 7 fairies can't wait. After sneezing for no reason, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something, and then a wicked smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. My lord looks so bad now. It seems that he should know the plan of Luo Qianxue and Hu Li, so I don't need to remind him. At this time, Yi Xiaotang, whose consciousness spread throughout the upper world, wanted to tell Yi Feng about the conversation between Luo Qianxue and Hu Li, but seeing Yi Feng's current appearance, she tactfully did not say it. What should I do? This is a real big brother. But now he is going to abandon me, should I do something? With the help of Yi Xiaotang, Chen Fan, who had recovered from his injuries, looked at the 2 people who were about to leave, gritted his teeth and knelt down to Yi Feng again. This idiot is really sick. Kneeling at every turn, how can he kneel so skillfully? Yi Feng, who was about to leave, saw Chen Fan kneeling down to him again. He was really overwhelmed. Brother. We agreed to be together for a lifetime, how can you bear to abandon me? If you leave, how can I live without you? At this time, Chen Fan knelt down and quickly came to Yi Feng, then hugged Yi Feng's thigh and shouted. What the hell, we agreed to be together for a lifetime, but it's only 2 days, and what do you mean you don't know how to live after I leave? Why don't you call me Swallow anymore? Seeing Chen Fan crying while hugging his thigh, Yi Feng's face was instantly covered with black lines. Just when Yi Feng didn't want to pay attention to him and was about to leave, he suddenly noticed those top-grade fairy crystals not far away. Thinking of Chen Fan's morbid obsession with top-grade fairy crystals, he suddenly thought of an interesting idea. Brother Chen Fan. We are not compatible and are not suitable to be together. You like to collect top-grade fairy crystals, but I like to spend or throw away top-grade fairy crystals, so you are not suitable to be my. Before Yi Feng could say the word little brother at the end, Chen Fan stood up and walked to the top-grade fairy crystal pile, wrapped all the top-grade fairy crystals with fairy power, and kicked hundreds of top-grade fairy crystals out with a powerful shot. Brother! What a coincidence! What I hate most in my life is the top-grade fairy crystals. I want to vomit when I see them. After getting rid of those top-grade fairy crystals, Chen Fan also walked back and said to Yi Feng with a smile on his face. Chapter 394. You are bored and want to go out and play, why do you drag me along? Are you crazy? This idiot is crazy. Those top-grade fairy crystals are the swallows in your heart, and you actually kicked them away? Seeing this scene, Yi Feng's eyes almost popped out of his head. He never thought that the other party would go to such lengths to recognize him as his elder brother. Brother Chen Fan. We have only known each other for half a day. Although I don't know why you are so persistent in wanting to recognize me as your elder brother, what I want to say is, what on earth is so impressive to you? Can't I change? Yi Feng, who had recovered from his shock, persuaded Chen Fan with a bitter smile. Brother. You just like your prodigal nature, so let me follow you. Thinking of what Yi Feng had said before that he was a prodigal, Chen Fan didn't know how to answer, so he directly said prodigal. Although he was obsessed with the best fairy crystals, he knew one thing better, that is, if he didn't have a strong backer or strong strength, no matter how many best fairy crystals he had, he couldn't keep them in the end, not to mention that with his current strength, even if he had so many natural treasures, he didn't dare to exchange them with those big forces or strong men for the best fairy crystals. And only if he became stronger or had a strong backer, he could not only get more best fairy crystals in the future, but also have the ability to keep them. This is why he insisted on recognizing Yi Feng as his big brother. As for Yi Feng saying that he would only spend and throw away the best fairy crystals, he felt that he should be able to withstand the other party's waste. Fuck. I really can't change my profligacy. But is this idiot really no longer obsessed with top-grade fairy crystals? Hearing this, Yi Feng looked at Chen Fan with a look of disbelief. Ding. Remind the host that the other party sincerely wants to recognize you as his big brother, but he also has his own purpose, which is to become stronger by your side so that he can get more top-grade fairy crystals in the future. At this moment, the system's prompt sound suddenly rang in Yi Feng's mind. So that's it. That's interesting. No matter what his purpose is, since he sincerely wants to recognize me as his big brother, his loyalty to me must be no problem. But, by spending money by my side, is he so confident that he can continue to be obsessed with those top-grade fairy crystals in the future? Thinking of this, Yi Feng also became interested. He really wanted to see how long the other party could last under the influence of his crazy profligacy. This was not that he deliberately wanted to torture the other party, but that the other party wanted to cooperate with him to spend money. Brother Chen Fan. Since you want me to be your big brother, then just follow me. After making the decision, Yi Feng smiled and said to Chen Fan. Bang! Hearing Yi Feng's words, Chen Fan knelt down to Yi Feng again very skillfully, and then shouted excitedly, Big brother, please accept my humble respect. Seeing Chen Fan kneeling on the ground again, Yi Feng was really convinced. This is a kneeling little prince. Chen Fan. Why do you kneel down all the time? After letting Chen Fan stand up, Yi Feng finally couldn't help asking the doubts in his heart. Big brother. Kneeling can save your life. In the battlefield of Tianhen, I don't know how many times I survived by kneeling. Compared with life, kneeling is nothing. Today I kneel to one person, tomorrow 10,000 people will kneel to me. As long as I can survive in this world of the survival of the fittest, my behavior is nothing at all. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Chen Fan also explained seriously. Although this is your way of making a living. But since you have followed me, you can no longer kneel down to others, casually. If it happens once, you can leave. This is a world where the strong prey on the weak. Yi Feng does not object to Chen Fan's relatively special way of making a living, but if you follow him, you will definitely not be able to continue using it. Shouting. Open the space channel, let's rush to Mingchuan City immediately. After reminding Chen Fan, Yifeng also spoke directly to Yi Xiaotang, who was standing beside him. Chen Fan, who was the last to enter the space channel, turned his head and looked in the direction where he kicked the top-grade fairy crystal when he stepped into the space channel, and his face showed an extremely painful look. Mingchuan City, the guest room of the restaurant. What's going on? Why do I feel that the way my master and grandmaster look at me is a little bit wrong? In the guest room, Yifeng found that Luo Qianxue and Hu Li looked at him with a little bit wrong, which made him show a hint of doubt. Master, why do you suddenly want to go to the Tiandao battlefield? Have you emptied Taishu Sword Sect, Penglai Fairy Island and Tianwu Sect? No longer thinking about this strange situation, Yifeng also looked at Luo Qianxue curiously and asked. This time I'm just going to collect interest, so I don't want to continue to follow. And there's no point in returning to the Holy Land, so I thought about going to the Tiandao battlefield to play. Maybe I can meet a great opportunity. Hearing Yifeng's question, Luo Qianxue also smiled and explained. Because you are bored, you want to go to the Tiandao battlefield to play? Then why don't you go and play by yourself? Why drag me along? Do you think everyone is as free as you? Thinking of this, Yifeng pretended to be regretful and said, Master, although I really want to go with you, my strength has broken through to the peak of the 9th level of the earthly immortal realm. Even if we enter the battlefield of heaven and earth, you will be teleported to the 1st level of the heavenly Dao battlefield, and I will be teleported to the 2nd level of the heavenly Dao battlefield. We are not in the same place at all. Master, you see, I have created an opportunity for the two of us to get along, but he is not interested. I can guarantee that he definitely has a secret treasure that suppresses his strength, he just doesn't want to go with me. Hearing Yifeng's words, Luo Qianxue also smiled bitterly and said to Hu Li on the side. Qianxue, it seems that it is still very difficult for you to take down my grandson. Since he has a secret treasure, just point it out directly. We can't fail right at the beginning. Hearing what Luo Qianxue said, Hu Li thought about it and gave her own suggestion. Yifeng, when we were in the lower realm, I remember you took Shui Bixu and Guzi to the Tiandao battlefield to fight a robbery. Don't say you don't have a secret treasure that can suppress your strength. You have to go with me this time, whether you want to or not. Hearing Hu Li's proposal, Luo Qianxue said to Yifeng with a serious face. Fuck. How could I forget about this? Hearing Luo Qianxue's words, Yifeng also said helplessly, Master, if you didn't say it, I would have forgotten it. Then when are we going? Brother. If there is a secret treasure that can suppress your strength, then take me with you. I'm familiar with the 1st level of the Heavenly Dao battlefield. I've been there for decades. If you want to play, I can provide a lot of help. At this time, Chen Fan's voice rang out from the side. Chapter 395 Brother, what are you looking for? Let me help you find it. Who is this idiot? I've already succeeded in the 1st step. What do you mean by interfering? Hearing Chen Fan's words, Luo Qianxue also looked at him with angry eyes. If ice could kill people, she would want to cut Chen Fan into pieces. However, when Yifeng heard Chen Fan's words, his eyes lit up and he secretly said happily, it's still useful to have a little brother. It's really useful at the critical moment. Master. His name is Chen Fan. He is my new little brother. It happens that he is very familiar with the 1st level of the Tiandao battlefield. If not, let him accompany you to play. I just have some other things to do. At this time, Yifeng also smiled and told Luo Qianxue his thoughts. My target is you, but you want this idiot to go to the Tiandao battlefield with me? Although this beautiful woman is my master, what does it have to do with me? I just want to follow my brother. Hearing Yifeng's words, Luo Qianxue and Chen Fan looked at each other, and both showed a hint of disgust in their eyes. No. You must go with me. Luo Qianxue also directly rejected Yifeng's proposal at this time. Brother, why don't you go with me? If you don't go, I won't go either. Chen Fan was also worried that Yifeng would not go, so he also tried to persuade him. What's wrong with you two? Why do you have to take me with you? Hearing what the two said, Yifeng sighed helplessly, then looked at Luo Qianxue and said, Master, I can go, so when do we leave? It's getting late. Let's rest here for one night, and leave early tomorrow morning. We should be able to reach the nearest Tiandao battlefield transmission tower before tomorrow evening. Hearing that Yifeng agreed, Luo Qianxue smiled again, and then told him her own arrangements. Okay. You still have to travel tomorrow, so go to bed early. At this time, Huli smiled and left Luo Qianxue's residence first. A moment later. Chen Fan. What are you doing standing at the door? Go back to your own room and rest. After entering his room, just as Yifeng was about to close the door, he saw Chen Fan standing straight at the door, which made him ask in confusion. Brother. I won't go back to rest. I'll stay here for you. Don't worry, I won't let anyone disturb your rest. Hearing Yifeng's question, Chen Fan said seriously. Help me guard? Seeing Chen Fan's serious face, Yifeng couldn't help but smile and said, Go back and rest, no need to guard, who will disturb me at night? Big brother. Don't worry about me, this is what I should do as a younger brother, just go back and rest. After saying that, Chen Fan didn't wait for Yifeng to say anything else, and directly helped Yifeng close the door. Big brother finally accepted me, I must perform well, and I must not miss any opportunity to show myself. After closing the door, Chen Fan also stood on the left side of the door and directly became the door god. I didn't expect Chen Fan to be so good at dealing with things. Then I can play games with the 7 fairies tonight. But when I saw Master and Grandmaster today, why do I always feel that they are a little bit wrong? Thinking about it, Yifeng habitually put the quilt between his legs and fell asleep. Yifeng doesn't flirt with me anymore. If I take the initiative, it might not be good. I should do it little by little. How about I go and chat with him first to get closer to him? He should not be asleep yet. In the guest room, Luo Qianxue thought about it and left her room and walked towards Yifeng's residence. Holy Lord! Big brother has gone to bed. If you need to talk to him tomorrow morning. However, when Luo Qianxue came to the door of Yifeng's guest room, she was stopped by Chen Fan. He sent someone to guard me? Looking at Chen Fan, who stopped her, Luo Qianxue was stunned. I am his master. He has to listen to me. Are you sure you want to stop me? After recovering from her shock, Luo Qianxue said to Chen Fan angrily. Holy Lord! It is Big Brother's business for Big Brother to listen to you, but I only listen to Big Brother. I am here today, no one can disturb Big Brother's rest. However, Chen Fan's answer was beyond Luo Qianxue's expectations. She didn't expect that Chen Fan was so loyal to Yifeng. What Luo Qianxue didn't know was that Chen Fan had experienced too much since he was a child. He knew one thing very well, that is, if he recognized a person, he would only listen to that person. As for the rest, no matter who the other party was, he would not pay attention. He asked you to stay here? Luo Qianxue couldn't get angry at Chen Fan's loyal attitude, but she had to figure it out. No. I took the initiative to stay here. This is what I should do as a younger brother. Hearing Luo Qianxue's question, Chen Fan also explained directly. Should we take this opportunity to test Yifeng's attitude? After hearing Chen Fan's answer, Luo Qianxue thought about it and suddenly said, Then tell Yifeng tomorrow morning that I came here tonight to show him the clothes. After saying that, Luo Qianxue thought of the clothes made of purple dark crystal, and her face was also flushed, and then she turned and walked towards her guest room. The next morning. Brother! Fortunately, I helped you guard the door last night, otherwise you would not have a good rest. When Yifeng woke up, Chen Fan walked into the guest room and talked about his contribution with a proud face. Huh? What's the matter? Someone almost disturbed my sweet dream last night. Hearing Chen Fan's words, Yifeng also asked curiously. Yes. Last night, the Holy Lord came over and said she had something to talk to you about, but in order to let you have a good rest, I stopped the Holy Lord directly. Although she is my eldest brother's master, I only listen to my eldest brother. But before she left, the Holy Lord asked me to tell you that she came to you last night to show you the clothes. Anyway, I don't quite understand what this means. At this time, Chen Fan also repeated Luo Qianshua's words to Yifeng. What? Did the master really say that? Hearing this, Yifeng became alert. Yes. That's what the Holy Lord said. At this point, Chen Fan found that Yifeng, who was sitting on the bed, began to look for something on both sides with his head down, and then hurriedly asked, Brother, what are you looking for? Let me help you find it. Chapter 396 I'm thinking about squandering money here, what are you thinking about there? Where's my sword? Where's my 40-meter-long big sword? I'll chop you to death. Hearing Chen Fan's words, Yifeng got even more angry, took out a long sword from the fairy ring and chased after Chen Fan, who had already run away. It's over. I shouldn't have stopped the Holy Lord last night. Now it seems that the relationship between the Holy Lord and Big Brother seems a little unusual. Chen Fan, who escaped from the restaurant, wanted to cry to death at this time, mainly because he didn't know this relationship. If he knew, he would have rolled away last night and would never have stopped it. Qianxue. It's up to you next. The 8 great elders and I will lead the disciples of the Holy Land to continue to rush to Tianwu sect. At this time, Huli also came to say goodbye in Luo Qianshua's guest room. Master. Don't worry, I will definitely take down Yifeng on this trip to the Tiandao battlefield. If soft doesn't work, use hard tactics. After hearing Hu Li's words, Luo Qianxue also expressed her thoughts. At this moment, there was a sudden commotion outside, which made Luo Qianxue and Hu Li walk towards the window with curiosity. What is Yifeng doing again? Isn't that Chen Fan his new little brother? Why is he chasing and slashing with a long sword so early in the morning? Seeing Yifeng chasing and slashing Chen Fan with a long sword on the street outside, Hu Li also said to herself with a puzzled look on her face. Yeah. I didn't expect this brat to be so energetic so early in the morning. Luo Qianxue, who guessed something, also laughed and said at this time. Restaurant lobby. Master. There will definitely be no one guarding the door tonight, or you can come to me again? Or I can come to you, just in time to see if the clothes fit you. If not, I can help you modify them. Yifeng, who was eating breakfast, also smiled and asked Luo Qianxue. Okay. I'll come to you in the evening. Hearing what Yifeng said, Luo Qianxue did not pretend to be reserved, but agreed directly, and a blush appeared on her face. Fuck. It's so easy to run in both directions. My efforts in the lower world have not been in vain after all. Hearing Luo Qianshua's answer, Yifeng was also excited. He felt that he should not have to go to the 7 fairies to play games in the future. And Chen Fan, who was sitting alone at a table not far away, looked at Yifeng and Luo Qianshua's affectionate appearance at this time, and a bitter smile appeared on his face. He really didn't expect that his elder brother would be so good at playing. After a while, sitting on Chen Fan's flying fairy, Yifeng also directly checked today's wasteful product. Although he didn't know why Luo Qianxue had such a big change, he couldn't let a woman affect his wasteful speed. Today's wasteful product, 7th grade and 7th level fixed body fairy talisman * 10,000 7th grade and 7th level fixed body fairy talisman, used on the target, As long as the strength does not exceed the 7th level of the Fairy Emperor realm, it will be fixed in place. The power of each fairy talisman can last for a stick of incense. If it is used on the same target multiple times, the duration will continue to stack. Another fairy talisman? After learning about today's wasteful product, Yifeng also frowned slightly. It's really not easy to waste this fixed body fairy talisman. No matter what others are doing, it is normal to use it to fix others. Thinking of this, Yifeng also took out a fixed body fairy talisman from the system space and stared at it in thought. Yifeng. What kind of immortal scroll is this? Luo Qianxue, who was standing by, saw Yifeng suddenly take out an immortal scroll and fell into deep thought. She also asked, curiously. Master. This is the immortal scroll of immobilization, which can immobilize others and let them do whatever they want. Hearing Luo Qianxue's question, Yifeng also explained casually. Immortal scroll of immobilization? Immobilize others and let them do whatever they want. Hearing Yifeng's explanation, Luo Qianxue was shocked. She just wanted to wear that set of clothes to show Yifeng first. As for a deeper communication, she was not ready yet. But she never expected that Yifeng had not only thought of that, but also planned to play so much. What should I do? I was not ready at first. Who would have thought that Yifeng, this stinky boy, would play so much? But if I refuse, will he stop teasing me? After a long ideological struggle, Luo Qianxue finally made a decision. She bit her lips and looked at Yifeng and said, Yifeng, if you want to use the immortal scroll on me, then you have to be gentle to me at that time. Master. I have 10,000 immortal scrolls in my hand. Each immortal scroll can last for a stick of incense. Do you think I use them all on one person? Is it a waste? Just as Luo Qianxue said this, Yifeng asked seriously. When Luo Qianxue heard Yifeng's words, she stopped talking in the middle of the conversation. Stunned. At this moment, both Yifeng and Luo Qianxue were already stunned. Fuck. Master, are you thinking wrongly? This immortal scroll of immortality is the product of my waste today. I didn't plan to use it on her. Thinking of this, Yifeng suddenly reacted, and then a wicked smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and he secretly said, Master is so extravagant, but I like it. I didn't expect that this immortal scroll of immortality could be used in this way. Yifeng is such a LSP. I can tolerate one immortal scroll of immortality, but who would have thought that he would use 10,000 of them on me under the guise of waste? Is this something a human can do? Thinking of this, Luo Qianxue also took a deep breath, then looked at Yifeng and said, Yifeng, 10,000 really scared me. I feel that I need some time to adapt. Let's put the appointment tonight on hold for the time being. Yifeng, who was fantasizing about a beautiful spring night tonight, heard this and was stunned. Master. I didn't mean what you thought when I said to use 10,000 immortal scrolls of immortality on one person. After recovering from his shock, Yifeng also understood it all at once, and then looked at Luo Qianxue and explained quickly. Fuck. What the hell is going on? I'm thinking about spending money here, what are you thinking about there? Seeing Luo Qianxue turn aside and ignore his explanation, Yifeng was completely blown up, thinking in his heart, I didn't do anything, and the expectations for the evening are also ruined. This is forcing me to go find the 7 fairies again. What the hell did I hear? I'm still a simple boy. Is it really okay for you to lead me astray like this? After hearing the conversation between the two, Chen Fan, who was acting as a human booster in the back, felt that he seemed to be learning bad things at this moment. Chapter 397 The Heavenly Tao Tribulation Cloud has come, but you are feeding each other with immortal fruits? System. The grade of this immortal scroll is not within the rules of the first Heavenly Tao battlefield. Can I bring it in and use it normally? Seeing that Luo Qianxue still ignored him, Yifeng also helplessly asked the system directly. Ding. You can bring it in, but the power of the heavenly Dao battlefield will also appear and stop it. Once it is found that these immortal scrolls cannot be transferred out of the heavenly Dao battlefield, the heavenly Dao tribulation cloud will appear. At that time, let the members of the prodigal guard kill the heavenly Dao tribulation cloud. Soon, the voice of the system rang in Yifeng's mind. The heavenly Dao tribulation cloud is unlucky to meet me. I'm afraid that before I appeared, it should have never been killed for fun. After hearing the voice of the system, Yifeng's mouth also showed a smile. Originally, based on Luo Qianxue's terrifying cultivation level of the first level of the human fairyland, it would take the three of them nearly a day to reach the nearest teleportation tower in the Tiandao battlefield. However, with the help of Chen Fan, the human booster, the three of them arrived in less than an hour standing in front of the teleportation tower of the Tiandao battlefield. Yifeng directly consumed the spendthrift points to open 3 black masks that suppressed his strength in the special fairy jar. After putting on one, he handed the other 2 to Luo Qianxue and Chen Fan. Yifeng. My strength is already the first level of the human fairyland, so I don't need to wear it, right? Looking at the black mask in her hand, Luo Qianxue also looked at Yifeng and asked. Master. Why are you asking the same question as Guzi? We are here to rob, so we have to be professional, so we must wear it. Hearing Luo Qianxue's words, Yifeng also smiled and explained. Why did you drag me and Guzi together again? Besides, we are not here to play. How did it become a robbery? Master. I'm going to spend all the 10,000 immortal scrolls in my hand. So, I'm going to use them for robbery. After we go in, whoever runs into us will be unlucky. Seeing Luo Qianxue's puzzled expression, Yifeng smiled and explained again, but he was going to go in and show the specific operation of the robbery with actual actions. Robbery? Immortal scrolls? When Chen Fan heard what Yifeng said, his face showed a hint of excitement. After all, he had never done such a fun thing before. Okay. Then let's go in and rob. After hearing Yifeng's explanation, Luo Qianxue also put on a black mask, and thought to herself, robbery is better than using it on me. I can't imagine the time of 10,000 incense sticks. The first battlefield of the heavenly Dao. Boom. Just as the three of them were teleported into the first battlefield of the heavenly Dao, a pressure from heaven and earth fell down, and at the same time, a terrifying force directly acted on the fairy ring with 10,000 fixed immortal scrolls in Yifeng's hand. But under the protection of the system, that force could not transfer the fairy ring out of the battlefield of the heavenly Dao at all. Boom. 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 Then, thunder roared, the calamity clouds rolled, and a strange white heavenly calamity cloud began to condense quickly above the three people. Fuck. What's going on? How could the heavenly calamity cloud in the battlefield of the heavenly Dao appear, and it also locked us all? At this time, looking at the white calamity cloud that was condensing rapidly in the air, Chen Fan was almost scared to death. This is the heavenly calamity cloud in the battlefield of the heavenly Dao. And they have locked us, but you are not worried or afraid at all, and you are still eating the fairy fruit together? And you are feeding each other? When Chen Fan saw Yifeng and Luo Qianxue showing off their affection, he was going crazy. He really wanted to shout at them, can you respect the heavenly tribulation cloud? Yifeng. Who will be the one to kill the heavenly tribulation cloud later? After eating a fairy fruit fed by Yifeng, Luo Qianxue also asked, curiously. After all, she had seen Yi Shaojian cut the calamity cloud with one sword, so for the heavenly calamity cloud that appeared, she was only concerned about who Yifeng would ask to come and solve it. Master. You should call me disciple, otherwise I won't have a sense of role substitution. As for who to ask, just ask Yi to come over for this little calamity cloud. As he said that, Yifeng said to the system in his heart, "System, let Yi come over." Role substitution? What does that mean? When Luo Qianxue heard what Yifeng said, she showed a puzzled look on her face. Ha ha ha. My lord, Yi is here. At this moment, with the appearance of a space crack, Yi's excited voice was the first to come out from it. Ha ha ha. My lord, Yi is gone. I can't handle this thing, I'd better go find a member of the official Prodigal Guard team. When Yi walked out of the space crack, he found himself in the Heavenly Tao battlefield, and in the sky was the damn white Heavenly Tao tribulation cloud. He shouted embarrassedly and quickly ran back to the space crack. Fuck. Yi can't handle the Heavenly Tao tribulation cloud here. Last time, I think I ran back to call Yi Xiaojiao to solve it. How could I forget about this? Seeing this familiar scene, Yifeng also remembered this. What? Who was that person in golden armor just now? This is the battlefield of the Heavenly Tao. Even the peak of the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm cannot tear through the space and come in from the outside. And you can come and go freely. Is this still the battlefield of the Heavenly Tao that I know? Looking at Yi coming out and going back, Chen Fan on the side was completely stunned. This scene really refreshed his cognition. Heaven-shaking kick. At this moment, with a rough voice, a huge footprint covering the sky and the sun appeared above the white Heavenly Tao tribulation cloud that had just condensed in the air. Boom. Under the footprint, the space collapsed, and the strange white Heavenly Tao tribulation cloud was instantly swallowed up by the collapsed space. My lord. I'm still busy over there, so I'll leave first. After solving the white tribulation cloud, Yi Xiaojiao also hurriedly disappeared into the space crack. What's going on? What's the matter with you, a hut keeper? Looking at Yi Xiaojiao, who also came and went in a hurry, Yifeng also showed a look of confusion. Ignore the rules of the Heavenly Tao battlefield. Kill the white calamity cloud with one kick. Who is my big brother? At this time, Chen Fan, who had recovered from his shock, also looked at Yifeng with an extremely shocked expression. Disciple. The man just now seems to be Yi Xiaojiao, who guards the magical hut at Xinghuan Peak. I didn't expect his strength to be so terrifying. Is his strength higher than Yi Xiaojian's? At this time, looking at Yi Xiaojiao, who was leaving, Luo Qianxue also looked at Yifeng with curiosity and asked. Chapter 398 Brother, do you think they look like robbers? Master. Then you really think too highly of him. If he saw Yi Xiaojian, he would probably be so scared that he would tremble all over. Hearing what Luo Qianxue said, Yifeng also explained with a smile. Then where is he ranked? Luo Qianxue asked more curiously after hearing this. 10th. Yi Xiaojiao is the weakest among the 10. As he said that, Yifeng also smiled and handed a fairy fruit similar to a grape to Luo Qianxue's mouth. 10 people? Big Brother has 10 strong men of this level? And the strong man who just crushed the white calamity cloud with 1 foot is actually the weakest one among the 10? Hearing the conversation between Yifeng and Luo Qianxue, Chen Fan on the side was shocked at first, and then he just laughed foolishly. He felt that the best thing he had done in his life was to recognize Yifeng as his big brother. With such a great big brother protecting him, who else could he be afraid of? Xinghuan Holy Land, Xinghuan Peak. Tu Meng, Gongfeng, Zhu Kai. Guess what I just saw? Young master, Yi has someone around him again. If nothing unexpected happens, a new partner will join our big family soon. Yi Xiaojiao, who returned to Xinghuan Peak, also said to the 3 people excitedly. Really? When the 3 heard what Yi Xiaojiao said, they all showed excitement on their faces. It can be said that nothing can make them happier than new people. The first level of the Heavenly Tao battlefield. Brother. There are people in front, and there are 7 people. After walking for a while, Chen Fan suddenly pointed at the 7 people in front and shouted to Yifeng. Chen Fan. What do you see in my eyes? Hearing Chen Fan's sudden shout, Yifeng suddenly pointed at his eyes with 2 fingers and asked him. Brother. You have me in your eyes. After hearing this, Chen Fan answered directly without any hesitation. What do you mean by eyes with you? I have eyeballs in my eyes, I'm not blind, so next time can you please not yell so loudly, you'll scare me. Yifeng said with a dark face after hearing Chen Fan's answer. Disciple. Hurry up and spend the money, your master can't wait any longer. At this time, Luo Qianxue on the side urged Yifeng impatiently. Master. Take this fairy ring. There are 10,000 immortal scrolls in it. We will rob the leader in a while. If he dares not give it to us, we will use the immortal scrolls to freeze all the people around him one by one, and scare him to death. After saying that, Yifeng handed the fairy ring in his hand to Luo Qianxue, and then looked at Chen Fan and said, Chen Fan, you are responsible for taking the things from those who are frozen. Take it? Hearing Yifeng's words, Chen Fan was stunned at first, and then showed a hint of excitement and asked, Brother, take all of them? Leave them a bitter tea seed. Yifeng looked at Luo Qianxue on the side, and finally decided to leave a bitter tea seed for those people. Disciple. Why do you do this? Can't you just freeze them all and rob them directly? Hearing Yifeng's idea, Luo Qianxue also asked, with some confusion. Master. I want to be a spendthrift. Although I want to rob the leader, I will not use the immortal scroll of immortality on the other party. I will immobilize the people around him to scare him, so as to complete the robbery. This is a spendthrift. Looking at Luo Qianxue who was puzzled, Yifeng also explained with a smile. You can obviously immobilize the other party and rob directly, but you have to immobilize the people around him to scare him and let him hand it over on his own initiative. In this case, I don't know how many immortal scrolls of immortality will be wasted in order to rob one person. Yifeng is really a spendthrift. After reacting, Luo Qianxue also revealed a smile. She felt that she still had to learn more from Yifeng in this aspect of spending money. Brother. Do you think the 3 masked men in front look like robbers? At this time, the second bald man among the 7 people on the opposite side also asked the eldest brother Mei Zhentao, beside him. Second brother. Even if they are robbers, so what? We 7 brothers are all at the peak of the 9th level of the human fairyland. It can be said that we are walking sideways in this first level of the heavenly battlefield. Why should we be afraid of them? As he said that, Mei Zhentao made a gesture of wiping his neck to the 6 people beside him, and then showed a sneer and walked towards Yifeng, Luo Qianxue and Chen Fan on the opposite side. Who is the leader among you? Seeing the 7 people coming over, Luo Qianxue also shouted excitedly. I am. Why are you blocking our way? Mei Zhentao stepped forward at this time, looked at Luo Qianxue with a playful look and asked directly. Robbery. But we only rob you. Luo Qianxue looked at Mei Zhentao and directly stated the purpose of their blocking the way. Ha ha ha. Funny, really funny. You 3, the first level trash in the fairyland, actually want to rob us? After checking the strength of the 3 people, Mei Zhentao couldn't help laughing, and then said directly to the bald man next to him, Second brother, go and get rid of them. Huh? Looking at the bald man next to him who didn't react at all, Mei Zhentao frowned and said, Go ahead, what are you still standing here for? Brother. She has the immortal scroll of immobilization in her hand, I'm immobilized. Hearing Mei Zhentao's words, the bald man also reminded him with an uneasy look on his face. Brother. We are also immobilized. At this moment, the other 5 people also spoke out in panic, and at the same time, they collapsed in their hearts and thought, we didn't do anything, and robbed the big brother, why do you want to immobilize us? Brother, let us go. Don't affect my work. At this moment, Chen Fan walked in front of Mei Zhentao, first pushed him aside, and then began to loot all the immortal rings, sound transmission stones, treasures, clothes, and other things on the 6 people. As for whether Mei Zhentao would suddenly attack him, Chen Fan was not worried at all, because Yifeng had just assured him that the other party would never hurt him. Fuck. You guys are crazy. Didn't we agree to rob our big brother? Why did you rob us? At this time, the 6 people who were robbed by Chen Fan were almost crazy. Go to hell. Looking at Chen Fan, who was robbing his brother's treasures, Mei Zhentao took out a long sword from his fairy ring and stabbed Chen Fan. Eyes of destruction. At this moment, Yifeng on the opposite side suddenly attacked and instantly annihilated the long sword in Mei Zhentao's hand. Brother! These are all yours, take them and run. At this time, Chen Fan, who had just finished looting, turned around and saw Mei Zhentao reaching out to him, and directly stuffed all the looted things into his hands, and then said this with a smile. Isn't it robbing me? How come this not only robbed my 6 brothers, but also gave me all their things? At this time, Mei Zhentao, who had not yet recovered from the sudden disappearance of the long sword, looked at the fairy ring, clothes, and other things in his hand, and the whole person directly revealed a touch of confusion. Chapter 399. Is it a big deal to arrange a place to live? Brother! This bastard won't run away, or give him a fixed fairy scroll. I will definitely get all his bitter tea seeds off. Seeing that Mei Zhentao was stunned and had no reaction, Chen Fan also shouted directly at Yifeng not far away. Damn! They left a bitter tea seed, but you didn't even leave me a bitter tea seed? I don't know what you guys are going to do, but can't I just run away? Hearing Chen Fan's words, Mei Zhentao was really scared. He glanced at the 6 brothers who were frozen and only had bitter tea seeds left. With tears in his eyes, he took the 6 people's things and ran away. As for resistance, he no longer dared to resist. The other party could destroy his sword silently, which was enough to prove that the 3 people in front of him were not as simple as they looked. Fuck, the big brother ran away. The big brother not only ran away, but also took our things and ran away. I didn't expect that the big brother would be such a person. He won't die, so I'll give them all the things. I'm blind. I didn't expect that the 6 of us are not as important as his bitter tea seeds in the heart of the big brother. Looking at the gradually distant Mei Zhentao, the eyes of the 6 people who were fixed in place were full of anger. Chen Fan, take out the flying fairy weapon, let's catch up. Seeing Mei Zhentao leave, Yifeng also smiled and said to Chen Fan. What's going on? With that flying speed, that flying fairy weapon must be a first-grade flying fairy weapon, right? Robbers have privileges. How can they bring in flying fairy weapons that are higher than the first grade? Let alone anything else, with that flying fairy weapon that is far higher than the first grade, as long as there are enough fairy stones, this first level of the Heavenly Dao battlefield is their own backyard, where they can go wherever they want. Looking at the 3 people who left on the flying fairy weapon, the 6 people also revealed a look of disbelief. Disciple. Although this is a waste of money, how long will it take to catch up? 10,000 fixed body fairy scrolls, then you have to meet 10,000 people, and you may not be able to use them up before dark. Why not use the remaining immortal scrolls on this guy? On the flying immortal weapon, Luo Qianxue suddenly came up with an idea while watching Mei Zhentao running wildly in front of her. Master! I don't want to play with it. If you think it's too troublesome, just throw the remaining immortal scrolls on him. Hearing Luo Qianxue's proposal, Yifeng also agreed. After all, a robbery that can be completed with 1 immortal scroll was completed, but nearly 10,000 were used. This is definitely a waste. However, if this is done, Mei Zhentao will have to bear the suffering of thousands of people alone. What's going on? Why can't I move? These three bastards don't keep their promises. I ran away, why are they still attacking me? When he found that his body couldn't move, Mei Zhentao was also stunned. When he reacted, his eyes began to show a look of panic. It doesn't matter if his things are robbed, but he is afraid that the other party will not even leave him bitter tea seeds. Brother! We just used all 9,994 immobilization scrolls on you. If nothing unexpected happens, your immobilization state will last for more than 200 days. Whether you can survive depends on your luck. After coming to Mei Zhentao and saying this, Yi Feng said directly to Chen Fan, take away all the clothes. After all, we can't take away nothing after robbing. We have to take something at least. At the beginning, Mei Zhentao made a gesture of wiping the neck to the other 6 people without knowing that they were robbing. Yi Feng saw it clearly. He would not tolerate such people. You are devils. Others are only frozen for a short while, but it's been more than 200 days for me? And you didn't take all kinds of natural treasures, elixirs, and immortal tools, but you took our clothes? Seeing Chen Fan take away the clothes of the 6 brothers in his hands, and then start to take off his own, Mei Zhentao was going crazy. He had been in the battlefield of the heavenly Tao for decades, and he had encountered robbers before, but he had never encountered someone who specifically robbed clothes. After half a day. Huh? Chen Fan, there are towns in the battlefield of the heavenly Tao? When Yi Feng saw a town appearing in the distance, he also showed a look of surprise and looked at Chen Fan and asked. Yes. No matter which level of the battlefield of the heavenly Tao, there are countless towns inside. No one knows how these towns appeared, but these towns are all protected by the will of the heavenly Tao. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Chen Fan also answered quickly. A few minutes later, through Chen Fan's detailed explanation, Yi Feng also roughly understood some of the situations of these towns in the heavenly Tao battlefield. As long as you enter the town, no matter who you are, you cannot kill people in the town. Anyone who dares to do so will be wiped out by the heavenly Tao thunder tribulation. Moreover, because of the protection of the will of heaven, the native fairy beasts in the battlefield of heaven cannot break into the town. If you encounter a fairy beast chasing or a fairy beast tied, as long as you can hide in any town, you will be completely safe. Not only that, each town is controlled by a force. If you want to enter, you must hand in a certain amount of fairy stones. For every extra day you stay, you must also hand in a certain amount of fairy stones. Otherwise, even if you are not killed, you can be thrown out of the city directly. Most of the controlling forces are basically people from the top forces and first-class forces in the outside world. Few people dare to provoke. Interesting. It seems that these towns in the battlefield of heaven can earn a lot of wealth for those forces every year. Thinking of this, Yi Feng said directly to Chen Fan, let's go to the town to rest first. After hearing Yi Feng's words, Chen Fan also directly activated the flying fairy weapon and quickly flew towards the town not far away. Bafang City. After handing in enough fairy stones, the 3 of them also successfully entered the town. Disciple. Let Chen Fan find a restaurant first, and you accompany me to stroll around in Bafang City for a while? At this time, Luo Qianxue suddenly looked at Yi Feng and asked. Master. If you can't, then you can stroll around by yourself for a while. Finding a restaurant and arranging accommodation is such a big thing, I'm afraid Chen Fan can't handle it by himself. Hearing Luo Qianxue's invitation, Yi Feng refused without any hesitation. Arranging a place to stay is a big deal? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Luo Qianxue was almost mad to death. She wanted to create an opportunity for the 2 of them to be alone, but who would have thought that Yi Feng would refuse so straightforwardly? Hey! Master misunderstood me again. Seeing the angry Luo Qianxue turn around and leave directly, Yi Feng sighed helplessly. Chapter 400 What? There is only one room left. Brother. Look, the sister-in-law is angry. You should go shopping with her. I can find a restaurant to open a guest room. At this time, Chen Fan also reminded him. Can you do it? You can do it. You don't know my routine at all, learn more later. After saying that, Yifeng walked directly to the distance and began to look for a restaurant. What other routines can be used to arrange a place to stay? Chen Fan also chased after Yifeng with a puzzled look on his face. He also wanted to see what routine Yifeng was talking about. After a moment. Boss. How many guest rooms do you have in this restaurant? After entering a restaurant, Yifeng asked directly. Young master. Just this morning a group of guests left, and now there are enough rooms, more than 10 rooms left. After hearing this, the restaurant owner looked at Yifeng and answered with a smile. What? Only 1 room left? After hearing this, Yifeng pretended to be surprised and exclaimed. What do you mean only 1 room left? I mean more than 10 rooms left. Hearing Yifeng's words, not only the restaurant owner was confused, but even Chen Fan, beside him, was confused. Young master. I mean, there are more than 10. Before the restaurant owner finished speaking, Yifeng directly slapped a space ring containing 10,000 top-grade fairy stones on the counter, and then said, This is the room fee. This is 100,000 top-grade fairy stones. When the restaurant owner checked the top-grade fairy stones in the fairy ring, a look of surprise appeared on his face, and then he suddenly reacted, looked at Yifeng and smiled. Young master, it's really unfortunate, our restaurant only has 1 room left. Chen Fan. Take this fairy ring. Go out and visit all the restaurants in the town right now, book all the guest rooms, and let others stay there later, but if your sister-in-law comes to ask, you have to let the restaurant owners know what to say, understand? After hearing the restaurant owner's words, Yifeng's mouth also showed a smile, and then handed another fairy ring containing 1,000,000 top-grade fairy stones to Chen Fan and stated his request. Fuck. Book all the restaurant rooms in the whole town, so that there is only 1 room left here. In this way, won't my brother and sister-in-law be able to live together? Thinking of this, Chen Fan was shocked. He didn't expect that Yifeng's routine was so deep, and now it seems that arranging accommodation is indeed a big deal, and he really can't do it well. As for whether Yifeng's actions will attract the attention of the 8 Directions sect, Chen Fan doesn't care at all. If the 8 Directions sect really wants to do something, then they have to consider whether their bitter tea seeds are enough to be picked. The restaurant owner opposite also looked at Yifeng with a surprised look. He thought that the other party had spent several times the amount of fairy stones to book all the guest rooms in his restaurant for dozens of days, which was already a waste of money. Who would have thought that the other party was actually going to attack all the guest rooms in Bafang City? Unknown strength. Prodigal son. I have to report this person's situation to the young master as soon as possible. After being surprised, the restaurant owner also made a decision secretly. After Chen Fan left, Yifeng looked at the restaurant owner again and said with a smile, You can also sell the guest rooms I booked to others later, but when I bring people here, your restaurant will only have 1 guest room left, do you understand? Understand. Master, don't worry, I know how to do this. After hearing Yifeng's words, the restaurant owner also responded with a smile. Ding. Congratulations to the host for triggering the wasteful behavior. Reward 500,000 wasteful points. Reward Ascension Pills *3. Reward 10 Desolate Demon Burning Array Secret Book *1. Just after Yifeng returned to the only guest room, the system's reward prompt sounded from his mind. Not bad. Really good. Not only did I get the only guest room, but I also triggered a wave of wasteful behavior. This wave of money is a big profit. After hearing the system's reward prompt sound, Yifeng couldn't help laughing. Huh? Why is this table uneven? Just then, Yifeng suddenly found that the wooden table in the guest room was a little tilted. Looking down, he found that one of the table legs was a little shorter than the other 3 table legs. Perfect. It's just right to put this 10 desolate demon burning array secret book underneath. After moving the table to stop shaking, Yifeng nodded with satisfaction, and then began to drink tea, looking forward to the night of love tonight. In a luxurious guest room on the 3rd floor. Young master. I have something to report to you. The restaurant owner who came to the guest room also said in a low voice. Do you have something to report to me? What is it? When Du Tian heard this, a hint of curiosity appeared on his face. It was hard for him to imagine what could be worth reporting to him, the young master, in the 1st level of the Heavenly Dao battlefield. After all, he came to the 1st level of the Heavenly Dao battlefield with the secret treasure to check the industry, which was just a formality. The towns controlled by the sects in the higher level Heavenly Dao battlefield were the places he needed to check. Young master. A prodigal son just came. Although his strength was revealed to be the 1st level of the human fairyland, he was wearing a strange black mask on his face. I don't know if it was a secret treasure that could suppress his strength. And just now, he not only booked all the guest rooms in my restaurant at once, but also asked his men to take a large number of top-grade fairy stones to book the vacant guest rooms in all the restaurants in the entire Bafang city. The restaurant owner also hurriedly told this situation at this time. Oh. The best fairy stones are not something that a cultivator in the human fairy realm can possess, let alone a large amount of them. But why did he book all the vacant rooms in the restaurant? Du Tian asked curiously after hearing this. It seems to be because of a woman. He should want to live in a guest room with that woman at night. The restaurant owner explained again after hearing this. Just because he wanted to live in a guest room with a woman, he directly booked all the vacant guest rooms in all the restaurants in Bafang City? Is this a prodigal son? This is a fucking LSP. After hearing what the restaurant owner said, Du Tian was really shocked. Which room is he in? I really want to get to know him. After being surprised, Du Tian also looked at the restaurant owner and asked.